So there was an actual group of people out there who actually believe that Gal Gadot deserves more blame for the failure of Snow White than Rachel Zegler. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. As you can see from this article, a bad movie, not Rachel Zegler, is to blame for the Snow White bombing. Rachel Zegler deserves no type of responsibility. That her statements about, we don't need your business from Trump supporters, pro Palestine statements on social media when she was also promoting the film, that was a great idea. When she was also enduring racist harassment online. I mean, they love to use the race card all the time. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the tweets were deemed important. At one point, Snow White's big name producer, Mark Platt, flew to New York to speak with Zegler about her Free Palestine post. And he was just trying to hold her accountable because he realized we shouldn't mix politics with movies. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't share your political views, that you shouldn't speak up about whether you're right wing or left wing, but understand when you mix business with politics where fans are trying to get away from that and you're bringing that into the movies, they're going to get turned off. They don't want to see that 24/7. Not the best movie. And look how it turned out. I mean, the results are the results. You can blame Gal Gadot all you want, but for 2 long years, Rachel Zegler did this to herself. You don't have to like that. Those are just the facts. You can look at the numbers. You can go to the box office numbers. It's not good for this movie. It's not getting great reviews. And if you want to blame Gal Gadot for that, yikes, it's not going to end very well. But let's see what people had to say. It's pretty funny to me that folks actually believe this. Like, as you see here, they blamed Rachel being a pro-Palestine instead of Gal Gadot's horrible acting. Okay, I knew they would try to blame this movie flopping on the young girl who spoke up against genocide rather than her IDF soldier co-star who was facing a global boycott. FYI, this movie's failure rests entirely insane on Gal Gadot for being talentless and genocidal. Calling an actor genocidal is ludicrous to me and just shows you how ignorant people are on the internet. As you scroll down, why are they blaming Rachel Zegler for the Snow White movie flopping? Gal Gadot is right there. No one wants to watch her on Town and Zionist. Blank. I don't even like live action remakes, but it's wild y'all are blaming Rachel Zegler for Snow White flopping and not blaming Gal Gadot, who got the worst of the criticism Disney's blanking CGI dwarfs. People are just missing the point. We all know it's Gal Gadot's fault. Y'all narratives don't work on people with an actual brain. Actually, we do have a brain. You're just not doing your homework and really not thinking critically. I guess the Zionist propaganda agents were told to blame Rachel Zegler for the failure of Snow White and totally ignore the facts that millions of people boycotted the movie because Gal Gadot is a terrorist? Are we joking here? Somebody who's an actress is somehow a terrorist at the same time. What type of reality do we live in? Like, do we use common sense anymore? Has that been completely ripped off our minds? I don't understand why people are so worked up when the facts are right in front of you. All you have to do is just look at what Rachel Zegler did the past 2 years. She promoted the film and then talked about Palestine in the same sentence. Like, literally, you don't do that. And you expect the results are going to be different. I'm not going to be surprised if the media tries to spin this and say it's Gal Gadot's fault of why Snow White was a failure. Like, let's forget about Rachel Zegler. She's young, she's ignorant. She'll learn from her mistakes. But the reality is, people aren't falling for that. People can't stand Rachel Zegler because, again, she decided it was a good idea to bash the old film. And then when they tried to hold her accountable, not because they think she's not talented or that she doesn't have the potential, otherwise Disney wouldn't have hired her. It's the statements she was saying. It was negative PR about an old film. And you think that was going to work? Absolutely not. So again, like, these people just don't get it. It's so twisted how they are trying to blame Rachel and not the sad excuse for an actress that is Gal Gadot. It's funny because the Gal Gadot who played in Wonder Woman, people criticize her, but that movie made way more money than Snow White, did way better in the box office. I wonder why. But yeah, is Rachel Zegler annoying? Sometimes. Probably. Was the reason why Snow White was trash? Probably not. But again, these people just don't really do much homework. And then, as you see, Rachel says, "Stop killing Palestinians," and now Disney's blaming her for their movie, and they're victimizing Gal Gadot, an IDF soldier who has killed and expressed the killings of Palestinians. Look, if you went to Palestine right now, you wouldn't live. You'd be dead on the spot. But no, people don't want to do the homeworks and look at these cultures and really think critically. I think both sides are nuts. I haven't done enough homework yet, but I know at Palestine, they're very violent. And if you don't believe that, go over there and see what happens. See if you can make it through a day. Because again, I just don't get why people make these statements and don't really do their homework. I see leftist media are blaming Gal Gadot for the movie Snow White abysmal debut. Ironic. Blame the only white girl and Jew for its demise. Leftists are scum. So funny. Gal Gadot reportedly received many death threats that made Disney pay for additional security. That's just really sad. One insider somehow blames Rachel Zegler, saying she didn't understand the repercussions of supporting Palestine as far as what that meant for the film, for Gal, for anyone. Again, you shouldn't say stuff like this because you're not going to get away with it. It's just crazy stuff how the media and the fans don't really think critically and act like Rachel Zegler doesn't deserve a pie of blame. When if you look at who's to blame here, Disney, yes, they deserve blame. For them to just go out there and say, oh, it's all on Rachel Zegler, when you're the company who hired her and you let this continue to build up and you did nothing about it. Yes, you sent your producer, but she said, you know what, I'm going to keep that post up. At that moment, you move on from Rachel Zegler. I don't care about the backlash. I don't care if people don't like you. You try to make it work and she doesn't want to cooperate. It's not going to be good for your business. Just cut ties. Because at the end of the day, if someone's not going to take accountability and responsibility for their actions, what are we doing here? So I'm not going to absolve Disney from responsibility. That's insane to me. But to say that Gal Gadot deserves more blame than Rachel Zegler, you're out of your minds. Really, you're just crazy. And yeah, common sense just seems to fade away as the days go by. And doesn't surprise me though, because people, they act in emotions. They don't really think critically sometimes. And it's very unfortunate. But at the end of the day, we'll see how the film does going forward. I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's only going to get worse. And, at the end of the day, Rachel Zegler is going to be more blamed than Gal Gadot, whether you like it or not. Those are just the facts. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Love to hear thoughts about people blaming Gal Gadot, thinking she deserves more criticism for this film than Rachel Zegler. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.